The Chinese, they believe we're in inevitable decline and that their rise is inevitable as well. Like I said, they don't like the rules of the world as they believe were written by America and our allies, and so they increasingly are taking it upon themselves at every opportunity to challenge them. At every domain, they steal our ideas on innovation and so forth so that their companies can do the things that we do, but of course do it cheaper and flood markets with those products. I don't need to tell this panel or the members of this committee and the general public that they're expanding their military capabilities in an extraordinary way to include not simply projecting power in the Indo-Pacific, but around the world. By the way, they manipulate loopholes in our laws and in our systems in this country to buy up land, buy up companies, gain strategic advantage in industries, and undermine our industries in return. They are a major part of flooding this country with deadly drugs that are destroying communities and ravaging entire families. They've also gotten very good at hiring lobbyists and even deputizing the corporate America to come up here and lobby us for things that are beneficial to the Chinese goals at the expense of this country long term. And I think it's important to mention here today, they also happen to control. Anybody says they don't, doesn't know what they're talking about, because every company in China is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. They happen to control a company that owns one of the world's best artificial intelligence algorithms. It's the one that's used in this country by TikTok. And it uses the data of Americans to basically read your mind and predict what videos you want to see. The reason why TikTok is so successful, the reason why it's so attractive, is because it knows you better than you know yourself. And the more you use it, the more it learns. The problem is not TikTok or the videos. The problem is the algorithm that powers it is controlled by a company in China that must do whatever the Chinese Communist Party tells them to do. And the only way that that algorithm works is if that company in China, under the control of the Chinese government, is given access to the data that TikTok collects. TikTok does not work without that algorithm. And that algorithm is controlled by a company that's controlled by the Chinese Communist Party under the law of China.